Hello, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Homecare Coach channel. This channel is for home care owners operating in Pennsylvania, or preparing to. Here, we speak plainly about compliance, inspections, and daily operations, because in this industry, good intentions don't protect agencies. Systems do. Pennsylvania inspectors do not evaluate effort, they verify evidence. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Today's topic is one every owner must understand. When a caregiver should never be assigned, no matter how short-staffed you feel or how urgent the situation seems. Because assigning a caregiver is not an act of goodwill. It is a compliance decision. Let's begin. When a caregiver should never be assigned. There are moments in home care where leadership shows itself clearly and moments where it quietly fails. Assigning a caregiver is one of those moments. In Pennsylvania, caregivers are not assigned based on need, pressure, or sympathy. They are assigned based on readiness, and readiness is proven, not assumed. Let's speak plainly about when a caregiver should never be sent into a client's home. 1. When the personnel file is incomplete, this is not negotiable. If a caregiver's file is missing any required document, background checks, health screenings, job description, orientation records, or competency evaluations, they should never be assigned. Not just this once. Not because we're short. Not because they seem good. To an inspector, an incomplete file signals one thing: lack of control. And remember this rule: if the file isn't complete, the caregiver does not exist on paper or in practice. 2. When training is documented but competency is not. Attendance is not competence. A caregiver who sat through training but was never evaluated, never observed, and never signed off as competent should never be assigned. Inspectors do not ask, "Did you train them?" They ask, "How do you know they're competent?" If you cannot show documented competency before assignment, the answer is simple: you don't. And hope is not a defense. 3. When the caregiver cannot explain their duties, this is a quiet red flag, and inspectors recognize it immediately. If a caregiver cannot clearly explain what services they are allowed to perform, what tasks they are prohibited from doing, how to report incidents or concerns, then they were not properly trained, no matter what the paperwork claims. A caregiver who does not understand their role is not an asset. They are a liability. 4. When required clearances are expired or pending. Pending is not approved. Expired is not acceptable. If a background check, TB screening, or required clearance is out of date, even by a single day, the caregiver should never be assigned. Inspectors do not make allowances for oversight. They document it, and what gets documented becomes a citation. 5. When supervision has not been established, caregivers do not operate independently in Pennsylvania home care. If a caregiver has no designated supervisor, no documented supervision plan, no clear understanding of who oversees their work, they should never be assigned. Availability is not supervision. Good intentions are not oversight. Documentation is 6. When orientation was rushed or skipped, orientation is not paperwork, it is preparation. A caregiver who has not been oriented to agency policies, emergency procedures, incident reporting, consumer rights should never be placed in a home. Inspectors assume that what you rush is what you do not value, and what you do not value is what gets cited. 7. When pressure overrides process, this is where most agencies are injured. Staffing shortages, client urgency, fear of losing business. These pressures push owners to assign before readiness, and that decision almost always costs more than it saves. Every citation has a story behind it. Most begin with the same sentence: "We were short-staffed." Pressure is real, but process protects. Care does not begin at the front door of a client's home. It begins in the personnel file, in the training record, in the supervision plan. Strong agencies do not assign caregivers because they are needed. They assign caregivers because they are ready. And when readiness is the standard, inspection day becomes ordinary. If this kind of clarity helps you lead with confidence instead of fear, subscribe to the Pennsylvania Homecare Coach channel. This is where we build agencies that can withstand inspection, not by luck, but by design.